Hi, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Vegans Across the World. Today, we have a guest from La Palma, Canaria, or the Canary Islands in Spain. And her name is May. May, hello, and welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate
Mm.
it. So, what I'm going to do first is I always show I share my screen and I will show everybody where you're at
Mhm.
and give a little bit of information about the area. Okay, so let me know if you see that.
Mhm.
So there you are, right there,
Mhm.
smack dab in the middle here, right
Yes.
off of the west coast of Africa, right by Morocco and the Western Sahara. And
Yes.
we are going to close up on that. And these are known as the Canary Islands. They are a part of Spain, even though they are off the coast of Africa. And I find this very exciting because, wow, I've told this to other guests that when whoever lives on a island, wow, I would love to be there.
It's
So there you are.
really cool. Yeah, that's the one.
Yep, La
It's
Palma, and it's one of 7 islands of the Canary Islands. Also, I think one of the smallest islands. I've got a little information here. So, La Palma is the most northwesterly island of the Canary Islands of Spain. It's located in the Atlantic Ocean off the northwestern coast of Africa, which I already said.
Mhm.
It is also one of the smallest of the Canary Islands with a size of only 708 square kilometers or 273 square miles to us Americans.
Mhm.
And it's a volcanic island with a volcano that rises 4 miles above the floor of the Atlantic Ocean. And there's road access from sea level to the summit, which also
Mhm.
has one of the world's premier astronomical observatories.
That's true.
So here's a fun fact: the islands were actually named after dogs. Now, the chirpy canary bird does come from the Canary Islands, but the name actually originated from the Latin word for dogs, which is canaria,
Mm.
which most likely developed from the resident sea lions, which the Romans called sea dogs.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, I thought that was interesting. And this is really cool. The city of San Antonio, Texas, was founded by people from the Canary Islands. It's a little fun fact from Americans and Texans.
Mhm.
Been a filming location for many Hollywood films, and there is a population of less than 90,000 people as of the 2019 census.
Yes.
So, what I'm going to do is I'll stop sharing my screen again. Okay, so now what I would like to do is have you tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, for example, what do you do and what kind of activism might you be involved in?
Oh, well, I do mostly online activism in different ways. I work for the Challenge 22. I'm a supervisor for the Spanish branch for 2.5 years now. And we have lots of people joining every month to learn about veganism and how to live this way. So I'm always there. And I also have a micro sanctuary called Vegan Point. I
You have
have
a what?
a micro sanctuary is
A
a
micro
small
sanctuary.
micro sanctuary. Yes,
Okay.
that's the word. So here I live with 11 hens and 3 roosters. And well, I do the best I can for them. I also am like a foster home for other animals that came and then pass having different families at the end. So I do a lot of different vegan activism, but mostly I'm online, especially during the pandemic. You know, we are all inside.
Sure.
So, yeah, in different forums, and I try to do my best with next
And that's partly why
online.
I started doing my YouTube and doing this series is because we are fairly isolated with what's going on with
Yes.
the pandemic. Depending on where you're at, more isolation than others. But I wanted to feel like I was doing more, you know, and
Mhm.
this helped me reach out to people and also to give their stories as well. But I mean, I understand if you've got a micro sanctuary, anybody that has any kind of sanctuary or takes care of animals, um, it's hard to get out there sometimes. I mean, I board dogs, so that limits me a lot of times. You know, even though I work with AV and we do cubes, sometimes it's really hard for me uh, to get out. Depending on,
Yes.
we have to schedule around it. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes, of course.
Yeah.
They are the priority, their food schedules and their health for sure.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, then all of the rest. Luckily now they are all good. So yeah, I hope they keep being okay. Mm.
Okay, so where are you originally from? Are you originally from Spain or the Canary Islands?
No, I'm from Argentina, from a place called Bariloche in Patagonia. It's really south and
Okay.
it's really cold. So I came here looking for a better weather, also because my hubby and I want to do a forest garden. And here we thought it's perfect because the language and also because of the weather. So that's
So
why
how
I'm
did you
here
end up
now.
getting the opportunity to move there? I mean, I want to know because I wouldn't mind moving there.
Oh, well, I'm lucky because I have like Italian papers, so there wasn't a problem for me. I just moved and I'm married to my hubby, so we came here and we just settled and now have jobs and it's like normal. Yeah. Luckily
Wow.
we could do that. Yeah, it's not easy for everyone in Argentina to come to live to Spain. I know you have to have some help. So we are lucky for that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been interested in just myself, just moving to Mexico, and as an American,
Okay.
it's still not easy. They don't just
Okay.
let you move in, you know?
In Argentina, they let you. If you want to go, you can. I know it's not the same, but there are some places where you can still go. But yeah, it's not everywhere for sure.
Yeah.
It's a shame because the world it's actually for all of us, right? But
So how long have you been there?
5 years.
5 years. So
Yes.
is the culture, is there a difference in culture for you? Like food is a big part of culture, as well as other things, but you know, it's a major part sometimes. But what was it like for you there in Argentina as compared to now? And what's it like where you are now?
Oh, I think it's similar in the way that in every place they all eat animal products
Yeah.
as much as they can. But for sure, there are different things, but we can always veganize our dishes. So in Argentina or here, there wasn't really a big problem for me, at least in that particular point. But for sure, there's different costumes in what they eat. If you want, I can tell you some dishes or something from here. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about that, but as
Okay.
far as like other cultural things, of course, just being on an island is going to be different than where you were.
Yes, there's
What kind
more
of
more
things stood out to
seafood,
you?
or do you see? Are you talking about the culture in what sense, other
Well, I
than the
mean,
food?
I know I know that seafood. I saw that they are a big agricultural area there. They have lots of bananas growing around, stuff like that. Of course, it's gonna be different on an island and what they're growing, and of course, it's gonna always be around fishing. But just I'm saying in general, like customs, attitudes,
It's
uh,
really not that
not that
different,
different.
actually. No,
Okay.
we have everything that you have in mainland. So the supermarket, even knowing it's a small place, the restaurant, the supermarkets, the markets, they are exactly the same that in a big city, just smaller. But
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm jealous. Either way, I'm
You
jealous.
can you can come visit, and if you like the place, for sure you can find a way to stay. Being an American, I think here is not that hard to find a way. If you
Yeah.
like, for sure there's place for you.
So I'm a little curious though, because since you guys are so close to actually Africa, closer to Africa than you are to Spain
Yes.
or the mainland of Spain, you are part of Spain. But what's it like do people go back and forth a lot? What's it like to travel back to the continent?
Well, by plane, it's actually a couple of hours. So the only difference is the time. We have 1 hour of difference. And of course, the weather. We have the weather from Africa. Actually, we have something called kalima, that is dust from Africa that come to the island and everything.
Oh, because you're right off the coast of Western Sahara.
Yes. But it's really good for plants. It's hot, but it's not bad. So it's really
See, that's
cool,
the thing about
actually.
islands. It can be hot and you don't notice because you've always got that breeze coming off the water.
If you are down, but here,
but
as
in
we
more
are a
climate.
volcano, if you are up, it's different. But really up, it's also, again, cold, really cold. It actually snows in the top of the island. So it's amazing. You have such different weathers in such a small place. If you can visit, I think it's it's called the La Isla Bonita, so the beautiful island.
Beautiful island, yeah.
Yes.
So what about traveling between the islands? Do people do that a lot? They travel between the islands a lot?
Yeah, and we have a lot of discount. We actually pay like a ferry, really a few euros, and we can be in the other island. Just for residents, for people from outside, it's a little bit expensive, but we also have ferries every day and airplanes, so it's really easy. Yeah.
See, I think that's similar to like when I go to the Yucatan or Quintana Roo in Mexico, where you have Cancun. Cozumel is the island off of Playa del Carmen, and there's other islands off of the coast. But the residents get a cheap rate, but if you're not from there, it's more expensive. Yeah. But it's still
I think
really
it's
easy.
okay. Yeah, it's still affordable, and it's good for people from here because some of them even work in different islands, so it makes sense.
Now, what would you say the culture is like from island to island? Do each of the islands tend to have like their own unique things about them?
Oh, I would like for that to be someone from here that actually knows more, because I haven't traveled a lot on the other island, but I can tell you in the big ones, you have much more fast food and restaurants. So it's a little bit different because also they have a lot more of vegan options than here, that we don't have vegan restaurants. I will tell you later maybe about it. But the main, food dishes are actually pretty much the same, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you, how long have you been vegan?
Oh, I have my Veganiversary next month in July, so I'm 7 years vegan now.
7 years?
8 soon, and the best decision for sure.
That's great. Yeah.
Yes.
So you were vegan before you moved?
Yes.
Were you worried? Were you worried because of that when you moved?
No, because I went vegan living in Venezuela in a really not good situation.
Lots of beef.
So I know here in Spain it's really cool to be vegan. Actually, it's not hard. Talking about the food things, right? And the items you need.
Sure. So so you've been vegan for 7 years. What made you want to go vegan? What flipped the switch for you?
Erling's and Gary Shurovsky's speech. I can't remember which one came first. I know I saw them both at the same time. I was alone, and after that, it was just more than enough. Yeah.
Now, did you know your husband at the time? How long have you guys been together?
10 years.
Okay.
He was the one that told me, when you watch this, you will be wanting to make some changes. So
did he go vegan first, technically?
With me? No, he waited until I watched the videos. I think it was 1 or 2 months that I was saying, like, I don't know. But I knew in some moment I will be like driving to watch them. So he was right, of course. And that afternoon, I told him, like, I don't have a choice. I will be vegan. And he told me, me too. Okay. So that was
That's
pretty cool.
great when
Yes,
people do it together. When
yes,
it's
it,
really
it
hard
was.
when you open your eyes to something like that, and the person you love so much
Doesn't.
doesn't see it, and it's really makes it
Yes,
really hard. So that's great that you guys went vegan
yes,
together. Wonderful, wonderful.
wonderful. Yes.
I think it makes you grow stronger together as well.
Yeah, for sure it was easier, but as we can talk about it a lot, it also make us stronger in our beliefs and also to search for more answers if we don't have it with each other. So yeah, it was really important to have. I really feel that people that have actually big problems with becoming vegan after watching and understanding the truth is because social pressure. If your family tell you you are crazy and your friends tell you are crazy and everyone tell you, maybe you don't have enough uh, power of willness. I'm not sure
Yeah.
the word, but you
Yeah,
know
I
what I
can
mean.
see that for
So
some people.
hmm,
Luckily for me, I've always been a contrarian and pretty much a rebel. So it's like
that's good.
I'm just like, yeah, screw
For
you,
this
screw what
is,
you guys think. I'm
yeah,
going to do this because you don't like it. No,
more so.
but no, I understand. It was hard. I felt
Yeah.
isolated for quite a long time, but it's very frustrating because you don't really have anybody to talk to about it, and nobody's understanding you,
Yes.
and maybe that contributes to the angry vegan thing. Maybe it does. You
Maybe
know.
not being able to talk about things that you feel really important, or even when you try to talk it like this is a gift I'm gonna give you, and you receive like blah, it's
Yeah. And when the
really
people
hard to
people
deal
that
with
you're
that.
supposedly closest to and love the most
They
reject
laugh or yeah.
that, or it just makes you disappointed
Mm,
because you don't you see a different side of them after you see a different side of what you've been doing all your
mm,
life. You see
yeah.
it through different. You have
Eyes,
different
of
vision.
course.
Yeah,
Yes, I
yeah,
get.
it's hard. So, are any of your family or friends vegan outside of your husband?
Oh, and my little sister is vegan for 3 years now. So yay!
Yay! Go, little sis.
And uh,
I said, go, little sis.
yes, I love her. And one of my best friends, also from Argentina, she's also, I think, almost 3 years as well. So yeah, those two are my closest to my heart. And the rest of my family, no, I try, I give them the information. I try to have some talks, but I receive a lot of like, I don't want to know about it.
Yeah,
So after a while, we just stop trying and you focus on other people that really want to learn. And I still share some documentaries, some phrases, but well,
you got to
yes.
slip it in there somewhere. So let me ask you: do they come visit you? Do you go visit them back in Argentina? How's the situation there?
No, I have a couple of years that I haven't traveled. I have some visits here, but not currently with the situation. Now we are actually just
Sure.
planning with my little sister. I hope she can come, but when the flights are more open and secure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I was going to ask you, how do you handle like family gatherings and situations like that?
Yeah, I live in an island, so I I don't really have family
You don't have to worry about
situations.
it. Yeah, yeah,
And as I'm a vegan, since I live here, I made my group of vegan friends. It changes a lot, but I mostly join with vegan friends and I do other things with non-vegans, but not so much, to be honest.
yeah,
It's not my comfort zone. So yeah, it's eventually.
yeah. So, but what do they think about your veganism, though? I mean, you've been vegan for 7 years. It's obviously wasn't just a phase. Your sister's now gone vegan. What is what are your family and friends who aren't vegan?
Hmm.
What do they think about your veganism?
Hmm. I think they don't think about my veganism. I hope they do more than they do. At the beginning, they told me this is a phase, and I tell them like,
Yeah,
no, you wait and see. But now they respect me. Of course, when I share some information, they tell me thank you, I will watch it. They never make a feedback or something, so I understand they didn't. But of course, they don't judge me anymore. They know I'm healthy, and my little sister as well, and we take care of our health as much as we can. So we
Did
are
they at least give
responsible.
you respect? I mean, I
Yes, of
found that
course.
it took several years on social media, even just my friends, like their reactions to some of my posts. I get a lot more respect now from them.
Hmm.
Of course, there's with some people who just immediately drop me, or didn't want to be
Yes,
friends anymore.
it's okay.
Some people took a while, and they were just like, "Can't handle your posts." And
Okay.
and then there's some people that have stuck around, that are actually quite respectful, even if they haven't gone vegan. Have you seen that changed for you after time went on?
Yes. I think that says a lot about the people, when
Yeah,
they just mock you and make fun of everything that you are saying with such a, I don't know, passion.
yeah,
So it's okay if you change your friends. I think it's
sure.
important when we grow to grow
When we
also
become
our
adults, we
friendship.
all make our own families, whether that,
Yes,
be,
yes, I
having children
agree.
or just the people around us, that's part of it.
Also, I have some friends that later in time started to ask me some questions, but this distance, I know what you mean. I actually closed my Facebook when I become vegan because all of them weren't approving me anymore. So
Yeah,
I made a new one just to learn about veganism, and now I really work with it, and I really like it. The community I have there, I know most of them. I don't know them like face to face, but I share with them important stuff, and I learn from them a lot. So I
yeah,
really, yeah, think it's good to choose which people you want to share your time with. It's
yeah.
the only we have, right?
It has its pros and
Mm.
cons, most
Yes,
definitely.
yes, we have to use it like a tool. I think it's really important to
Yeah,
know the limits, right? And use
yeah,
it, not let them use us.
yeah.
Hmm.
So, would you say it's easy or hard to be vegan where you live at now, in on the island?
Oh, well, for sure it's easy if you think through the eyes of the animals, wherever you are. And it's also easy if you have a place to cook for yourself. It's cheap as well. And the hardest part, I think, is the social part, especially if you don't have this that we are talking about, this circle of friendships or support.
Yeah,
But I think it's easy, especially in developed countries. I'm sorry if that's not the correct word, but we don't miss water and supplies, and we have supermarkets every time. Even with the pandemic, we have the supermarket full of food and the markets from the island. So
even though it might seem like you're a bit isolated, you still have everything that everybody
yes,
else has. Yeah,
yes, yes. Mhm.
that's great.
Yes, it
So,
is.
yeah. So, but you're saying it's easy to be vegan, and I've heard the same answer, which is perfect. That as long as you look through the eyes of the victim, it's easy no matter where you
Mm.
are. I've heard that from almost everybody that I've asked, no matter where they are, and I agree. But what would you say as a vegan
Hmm.
are the struggles? You're saying the socializing. Um, is there
Yeah,
any other? Do you feel like there's?
if you live in a non-vegan family and you are studying in a non-vegan environment, I think that's the hardest part. But other stuff, I would say that here we don't have as much vegan restaurant or vegan options like this new available stuff that people like when they make the transition. But we are getting more and more, and we also can ask them online. So that's
Yeah,
not really an excuse, but it could be a struggle, like a little bit more of intention that you have to make. But we don't have big entertainments with animals. People, there's some parties in, like, I'm not sure also the word, like festivals from in different places, and a lot of them uses animals like bulls taking stuff, or they use a lot of goats also. So if you are from here, you should stop to participate in some activities that are really local. But other than that, I don't think that's really hard for.
And do you guys have a lot of activism there? Do you have activism there, or activist groups? Do you have people do protests for stuff like that, or just go out?
We have been done also cubes for almost 3 years, but now we don't have any more an organizer, so I think we won't do them anymore. We do eventually some stuff like for the day of the vegan day, the 1st of November. We try to go out on the street, and we do gatherings to show documentaries, and we invite other people, non-vegan people. It's hard to make them come to a vegan gathering, but we try to do, we need to do more. We are a small group still, but it's a must.
But you don't have to worry about, do you have zoos or dolphinariums or aquariums or anything like that?
No, not really. No, but still we have a lot of exploitation.
Sure, I mean, humans.
If we want to go out, yes, for sure. We have a lot of problems with the sea animals. So now in other islands, bigger ones with bigger activist groups, they are doing. They are showing Seaspiracy, for example, or trying to do more stuff with the ocean, because people actually think that fish don't feel pain. So we are there yet, trying to make people understand that all animals can feel, and we need to do more of that. But
so I mean, you're obviously one of the smaller islands out of the 7. I think you're like the 5th out of 7 or something like that.
Yes. There's
so I understand. So I would
Sorry?
understand that the activism may be happening on the larger islands, because you probably don't get as much tourism as they do, or do you get a lot of tourism still?
Yes, we do. Now with the pandemics, we don't. Before, we also do choking sometime, in the street. So when there's open for people to come, we have tourism. Not so much as in other big islands.
And what kind of reception do you get from being a vegan, just from the general public? Is there a lot of, is there a mix?
Yes, for the people from here, I think it's more, not for all, but being from a rural place, it's even harder, this separation of the actually knowing you don't need to have animals. They really feel and they live that way, having their goats, their chickens, their pigs, not theirs, but you know what I mean. So
do they have a lot of farms there, or is it mainly
family farms, and a lot of goats in medium farms in the mountains, a lot of free range, but yes, a lot of rural places where families have their animals to slaughter and use their eggs and their milk a lot. So it's different, from the people that never have slaughtered an animal themselves, or they only have to change the milk from one. Here is different. They do this. So, but there's a lot of youth also. They don't do that. They are going to school and they are learning, and they know, and they will be moving soon. So for the young people, it's awesome when we go out with the cubes. The reception for them, I think it's really, really cool. Yeah.
So that kind of answers my question about, I usually ask people, um, what are, what do they think about animal rights? Because a lot of people look at
Mm.
veganism as a diet, but
We
animal
have
rights is a different
misinformation.
subject.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still have to go out and teach people about it. And I always ask people if they know what veganism is,
Yeah.
and mostly they don't know. They know we don't eat animals, but the difference between vegetarian and vegan and why we
Mhm.
do this, no, they for sure
Yeah, they don't
most of
understand.
them no. It's also our fault, as vegans, we have to do this. If we are not the ones teaching them, who?
Yeah.
The TV news won't do it better. So we have a lot of work to do. Yeah.
Yeah. But you said that you do have like you have vegan restaurants or cafes there.
There's one vegan food truck. It's
Okay.
run by a vegan couple, and they do, I think, Saturdays, a lot of events, and they share it online. They live in a beautiful place, and they harvest some of the food they make, so it's awesome. But it's really far away, and we don't have in the city, vegan places, but we have vegan options. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have.
That's great. So at your grocery stores, you have like vegan options available, alternatives, stuff like that, the nut milks and the vegan cheeses and
Yes,
stuff like that.
yes,
What
we do.
about like toiletries, vegan like toiletries is like shampoos and shave creams
Yes,
and stuff,
also, yes, the
makeup.
supermarkets are big. Yes, we have a lot of different brands.
And you have like, I suppose you wouldn't have, I wouldn't see why you'd have too much need for it in a nice climate, but leather alternatives, stuff like
It's
that,
really
clothing.
hot here.
Yeah.
I don't think people will use even a big jacket,
Yeah. So
but
that's what I was thinking.
if
Yeah.
you want, you have them for sure.
Okay.
There are stores where you can buy them because people travel a lot as well.
Yeah.
So you will find
Well, hopefully
clothes.
where you live, the climate where you live, at least you don't have to worry about people wearing
No.
fur. Hopefully.
Mm-mm. No, I
Yeah.
think I have never seen somebody here wearing fur.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, not to
nobody
say
is
that fur
doing
is
it.
any worse than wearing leather, but you know what I mean.
I know
You
it's
at least don't
something
have to
that
see it flaunted. It's
strikes you
gaudy and
in
yeah.
the street. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
luckily we don't.
So I was gonna say, what is your favorite form of activism? You did cubes, you've done chalking, you do online, you have a micro sanctuary.
Hmm.
What would you say your favorite form of activism is if you could be doing anything right now without the pandemic going
Oh, to be honest, I don't do my favorite form of activism.
on?
I
Okay.
think giving lectures should be the best thing.
Is that
One,
something
because
that you
I
used to do?
learn. No, I have never done it. I want to do it. I write stuff a lot, and I never find the courage to step up in a crowd, to talk. I have been talking with some friends to make something for kids, and we
Yeah.
have one of them that have a contact with a school. So maybe in a group we can start doing it. But I think because of what I saw from Gary and what I saw from other talks, it's really different when you are talking to a lot of people and not just this one by one that we do at the cubes or in other activism, where people a lot of times I think they feel like judged or like you are in a competition where you are better. But when you talk to a crowd, it's a message you are giving.
Well,
So
plus if they came to watch you, they're more invested. They did voluntarily, as a crowd,
yes.
come to invest that time in listening to what you have to say.
Of
So,
course, but even if you are going to a school, like to do 1 hour of just talking, the kids that are there are already like learning stuff.
yeah,
So maybe they are
they're
open
very
to that.
interested to learn something. Yeah.
Yes, and there are lots. So maybe you have one or two, and you get more reception. But as I haven't done it, I can
Now,
say,
I was just going
but
to say, have you ever done anything like with your micro sanctuary? Maybe take some chickens and like ask a school if there's a day that they'd be interested in you bringing in your
No, and I
chickens.
wouldn't. They have really special personalities, and
Sure.
even for me to
But
grab
I
them
was going to
and
say just
hold
for
them,
them to meet the chickens and like, and you
mm,
could like teach them about them. But I understand a lot of
maybe
people who run.
online. Online,
Yeah.
it could be like a really, really cool idea to show them what they do and how they
Yeah.
eat their eggs and what they are just doing. But that involving people with animals, if they don't know each other, is not something that you can do in one day, or maybe you get a really
Yeah,
stressed
I mean, I
animal.
understand because sanctuaries, you're handling animals that probably been
Mm,
traumatized anyway, and you
yes.
don't want to put them in that situation. A bunch of screaming kids, especially. But I'm
Mm.
not suggesting like using it as like a petting zoo, but it
No,
just like
I get
yeah,
your
yeah,
intention, and for sure they will make a big connection because kids, they are more open-hearted than
yeah,
adults, I think. But yeah, especially I have some chickens that are kind of free. They were born free, and they are a different race. They are not these farm chickens that
yeah.
maybe they
Genetically
are.
manipulated.
Yeah, I'm not sure why is they different, because maybe they have been close to human as much as the other ones, but they are really different. This
Yeah,
wild one, they don't like people, not even me. I feed them every day, and it's maybe I can touch them, like. And there are others, that the ones that came from battery,
sure.
they sometimes love to be with me and being cuddled, and but only with me. I know them a lot. When new people come, they maybe run away. So yeah, but for sure there's something that we can do online. This is a really important way to help, right?
Now, how did you get into doing this micro sanctuary? How did you get into taking in rescued animals? How did that
Uh,
happen?
I started with one rooster, and then two, and
And then people
and
knew where to find you.
yeah, I found them a lot. My hubby found them also, and I have this dream to have a real sanctuary. But as the time goes, I know how much money and resources and stuff you need, and still maybe it's not enough. So I'm struggling. I'm reducing the amount to the ones that I can take care of myself right now. But hopefully, in some moment, I will be working with more people to have a
And that's the thing,
bigger
you'd
space.
love to save them all, but you have to know your limitations because it turns from a sanctuary into a hoarding situation if you can't care for them.
Yes,
That's we have to know our
yes,
limitations, and
for
it's
sure.
wonderful for the ones that you are caring for. You have to give them the best, that
Yes,
you
I
can.
try to do veganism with them online as well, mm, to make this worth, because I know for them is the difference between being alive or not, but I can save them all. So if I
Yeah,
don't do veganism with them, I'm really losing a big opportunity to, yeah, teach people how chickens are when you respect them. That's all, but it's really important. So yeah, it's enough if you live with one, maybe two better, because they really like to be with some companion bird. But
yeah,
you can for sure do activism having one or two rescue animals. Yeah,
yeah,
and help a lot of animals that way.
yeah. It's like I've, for example, I've fostered dogs over the years.
Hmm.
And, I would have loved to have kept them all, but I just knew that what my limitations were, and that wasn't fair to any of them. If I
Yes.
had too much to take on, you just have to know, because then, yeah, it turns into a hoarding situation. You're not really caring for them anymore. It's just, yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
I
good. It's
know
good that
it's
you know
awful
your
one.
limitations because that way, you know, y- you wish you could save them all, but if you're not going to give them a
Mm.
better life,
It's
what's you know, or if
yeah,
you
no.
can't, because you wear yourself thin, you're not giving any of you a good life, are you? Because you're going to wear
What? I'm
yourself.
sorry.
If you wear yourself thin, like you wear yourself out, like
out,
trying to take care of too much, taking
you
on too
won't
much,
do any
then
good.
you can't give them quality care because you're not giving yourself quality care as well. You're worn out.
Yes, yes, and the veterinary care and the food and the space. Every
Yeah,
time that you bring one animal, you make a smaller place for the others. So that's
exactly.
really important to have in mind as well. It's
Exactly.
hard. It's really hard to say no. You know they will die if you say no, but you have to, prioritize
Prioritize,
the
yes.
the ones you already have. I think, yeah.
I agree. Now, let me ask you, if a vegan visits where you live, where should they go? That doesn't have to be a restaurant. Just
Okay,
where
my
should they go?
home, please.
Your
I will
home?
give you my contact. Yes, we make
Okay.
wonderful food here. And
Any
of course,
information that you give me, any social media information or groups or
okay,
anything like that, they're all going to be below the video for everybody to check out.
perfect. We will left there the accounts. So if you come, you can join. And of course, the Veganoteca, because they are the only vegan ones. And there's also Sweetbox Marie. She makes some desserts that are amazing, and she sells them in the mercado here in the local market. So
Yeah.
it's really nice, and you can ask for vegan dishes in almost every restaurant if you
What was the
want.
first place you said? Biblioteca? Did you
Veganoteca.
Veganoteca?
Yes, I will let the link for the page Facebook as
Yeah,
well. Yeah,
sure.
they are nice. Cool.
Awesome. That's awesome. But what is your favorite vegan dish that people should try?
Oh, that's a hard question. I changed my favorite vegan dishes. I think I like the sweet things. So, yeah, I will say some of the desserts from Sweetbox Marie if you are going to buy something. And if you're going to cook in your home, it has to be something from here or wherever.
Well, I generally like to know something local, but that's okay. You don't have to. It
Mm-hmm.
could just be any dish that you could that's available there that they should
Well,
try.
no, here they have some really, really good thing that is like a sauce. It's called mojo, and it's can be eaten with papas arrugadas. It's potatoes roasted in the fire,
Yeah.
and this mojo is made with peppers, and it's really good, and it's vegan, so you can ask for that.
Awesome. And what is your favorite dish no matter where it's from?
I think like cakes. I love
Cakes.
chocolate cakes. Wherever I am, I
I
will
think
try
everybody
to
would agree
try
with that.
some. Okay. We for I spent like 1 year not knowing I could do vegan cakes. After I went vegan, I didn't knew any vegan people. So like after 1 year, I find a woman that brings me a big cake, and I told her, "You're vegan," and she told me, "Yeah, and that's vegan," and I was like.
Oh my
Like
God,
years
you can still
ago,
have
I
cake.
didn't have it a phone or not group internet groups or nothing. So I was
See, now
eating.
that's commitment because if you went vegan thinking that you would never be allowed to have
No,
your
no,
favorite cake ever
no.
again, but you still did it because it was the right thing to do,
Yeah,
then that's
I
that's the
I
attitude you
didn't
got to
have a
have.
choice. For me,
Yeah.
it was the only.
You were ready to just like give up your favorite food for the rest of your life because you knew it was the right thing to do. And you got
Yeah, I
rewarded by
remember.
finding out that anything
Yes.
they can have, we can have vegan.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, every time more. I remember I watched a milk chocolate and I cry, and I'm not sure if I chew it or not, but I know it was for sure my last, and no, I couldn't. I mean, yeah, it wasn't hard. For me, it had been really hard if I should have to eat animals again,
Yeah.
if I hadn't any food, or if I was a minor and my mom forced me. I think that would be like really hard. I'm
Yeah.
grateful to, yeah. be independent
Yeah,
in
I
that
think
way.
recently there's been a few people. I don't know if it's one of those things where it's a post that gets passed around, and they're asking the question, "What's the one food? What's the one thing? What's the one thing you would never eat, even if you were starving?"
Mm,
And people are putting Brussels sprouts and stuff like that, and I put animals, you know, because you just
yes,
can't look at them as food anymore. They're not,
yes.
you know, they're food. Animals are
Not
not
food.
food. Yeah,
Yeah, dead people. Yeah, don't eat dead
yeah.
people. Yeah, it's
So,
clear.
so now, if a person does visit there, how can they get involved with the local vegan community? How did you get involved with local vegan community? How can people do it now? I'm sure it's evolved since then.
Yeah, I think we started the vegan community here with the cubes 3 years ago, and now we have a WhatsApp group and a Facebook group, and we get together and we try to do activism on the street, for sure online a lot. So get in contact with us. I will let you our direct contact. So if you come, you are not alone for sure.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Cool.
So, all right, finally, where would you like to visit one day and learn about veganism there? You've
Mm.
obviously, you're from Argentina. You've been, I'm sure, to mainland Spain, and you said Italy. So you've traveled a little bit. Where have you maybe not traveled and you would like to learn about veganism there one day?
I would really like to visit some big sanctuary, for example, Santuario Gaia or Santuario Vegan. They
I
have
don't know.
like 200 or 300 animals.
Where is that?
And
Say that again, please.
in Spain, in
Oh, in
mainland,
Spain. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
the both of them are in Spain. So I would really, really like to get there to help and learn, because I know you learn a lot living with the animals. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's a dream.
Well, that's an awesome answer. It's totally unique to what anybody else has said. So that's
Okay,
really
and for
great.
you?
For me, where would I like to go and learn about
Yeah.
veganism? See, that's the problem, and that's I'm kind of living vicariously through this series, is because I've always wanted to travel the world, just everywhere.
Cool.
So I
You
can't.
are
It's hard for me
learning
to
now.
choose. I want to go everywhere. So for me, I kind of get to choose by finding people that live there and talking to them like I'm talking to you. You know what I
Amazing.
mean?
Really
So,
cool way to do
it's
it. And also doing
a little cheaper
activism.
too.
Yes, I think it's necessary now to
Yeah.
try to do cheap activism, because, yeah, we don't have a lot of income. Normally, we do all the time free
Yeah.
stuff. So I think you have found a wonderful resource. I hope I bring you some of the island there.
Yeah. I could, like I said, living vicariously through you, I can just imagine that I'm there.
For sure.
I can daydream.
Yeah, whenever you want, I can send you some videos of the chickens and of the sea
Oh,
as well. So yes, so you can
do
be
you
here as
post a
well.
lot about them on your social media?
Yes, a lot.
That's great.
A lot.
Well,
Yeah,
just leave us the links. I'll let everybody that way they can check it out and they get to see your chickens too.
perfect.
So
Good.
awesome. You know
Thank you
what,
so much.
Mai, thank you so much for coming on today. I know it's getting a little late for you. So
It's okay.
it's been wonderful talking to you. I'm really happy. We'd been Facebook friends for a little while, and then finally one day I was like, "Where does she live?" And I was like, "Oh my God,
Nice.
she lives on an island out in the middle of the Atlantic."
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, definitely.
cool.
So it's so wonderful that you accepted my invitation. I'm so
Oh,
happy to
I
get to
was
know you.
really honored, and I want to tell you to talk with someone from here. But for sure, you can do another interview with someone
Yeah,
born
it
in the
doesn't matter
island
if it
and
doesn't matter
still
if you're
live.
from there, because you are living there. You've been there for
Yes,
5 years. So
yes,
yeah,
I know.
we just want to know what your experience as a vegan
Yes.
is there, and actually sometimes I think it might even it's a good perspective to have not being from there because of course if anybody travels there, we're not from there. So what
Hmm.
is it like to go there as a vegan? So
Okay,
it's a
that's a
good
good point.
perspective.
Nice.
But
Awesome. Then I'm glad to be helpful, and I have a really nice time. So thank you for that as well.
I had a great time. It was such a pleasure to
Cool.
meet you. So I'll go ahead and let you go. And yeah, send me all those links. I will include them down
Yes.
below. And you have a great night, okay?
You too. Thank
All
you.
right. Bye-bye
See you
now.
soon. Bye.
What a great person. I really like her a lot. And I'm so glad that I have connected with her. We actually have been Facebook friends for a while. And I am so happy that we have finally connected this way. That's something I really do enjoy about doing this series. I enjoy several things about doing this series, and I'm hoping that you guys do too. But I especially making these connections with people that otherwise you just see their posts online, and yeah, just making that connection. So we have seen once again how connected we are, really, and that we can be vegan in yet another place around the world. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please check out all the links that are included below. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment, helps a lot. And you want to know who I have next week? You're just going to have to show up. All right. Good night, everybody. Love you. Bye.